Welcome to the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast. I'm your host, Forrest Kelly. From the seed to the glass, wine has a past. Our aim at the Best 5-Minute Wine Podcast is to look for adventure at wineries around the globe. After all, grape minds think alike. Let's start the adventure. Our featured winery is... We continue our conversation with Tina Post of Post Winery in Altus, Arkansas. So since you are one of the biggest wineries in the United States, just a rough estimate, how many people have you got coming through your establishment?
Oh, gosh, we have about, I would say 50,000 a year in retail, maybe. But we are also the largest producer in Arkansas. We are, as far as size, you could put all the other wineries here together and that'd be about not even half of what we produce.
Yeah.
So as far as just getting an idea, I guess, of size. But, yeah.
It's impressive. So I'm just kind of painting a picture. When you come into the parking lot, what do we see? We
have a retail outlet where you can take tours, do tastings, eat in the trellis room. And just, we have a gift shop in there, and around the retail, we have a picnic area. And then around, it's kind of worked into our beds around the winery, which we grow everything from cucumbers and tomatoes to all our herbs we use in the kitchen. There's places to run the dogs and stretch your legs. We also, in our the south part of the parking lot, we have harvest host members that come and they can stay overnight.
Well, staying overnight is obviously an added bonus if you fully engulf yourself in your experience of going through everything that you've got. At the time that we're recording this, we are kind of in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and I'm just guessing that your winery is closed as well?
Yes, we have. In fact, we're just literally trying to figure out what the new normal is going to be. And then when you ask the question, what do you see? And, well, that's what you're going to see as far as what we're going to be able to do. That's really up in the air, like taking a tour through the facility. Do we have everybody in a mask? Which our tours are really fun because they're a basic winemaking tour. And you get to see, if we're crushing that day, you get to watch a crush. If we're bottling, you get to watch that. It's really an interesting tour. It's like winemaking 101. And a lot of people really appreciate getting to see the distribution center and see how that works. Education is an important part of what we do, whether it's about wines behind the tasting bar or just about the whole process and how nature works, the different seasons. That's one thing people do like. They'll say, where are the grapes? And sometimes they say that in the middle of the winter, which is kind of interesting. So to get people... this is how it works. This is how the process works. And, getting people back connected to the dirt, to the land, because at the end of the day, we're farmers first to be winemakers. And we're actually a winery that actually produces, or even we make cuttings. We make cuttings. And so we plant the grapes. We make cuttings from the vines, because to propagate grapes, you don't do it from a seed. You don't know what you'd get. But so you do it from the wood of the vine that you want to propagate. So we make cuttings, and it's just pieces of that vine we cut and we propagate from that. And we also sell those vines. We sell the new cuttings, they're called, the new plants, 1 year to 3 years old. We also sell those to other vineyards. And just people who want to come, we'll pot them out in gallon pots and sell them to people who want to have something in their backyard.
I may have to get some of those cuttings. So I'm going to the website, postwinery.com. Postwinery.com. P-O-S-T, winery.com. If you'd like to get one for yourself.
Will somebody answer that phone?
Okay, it is time for our listener voicemail.
Hi, this is Neil from Ohio. My question is, what are legs?
All right, Neil from Ohio, here is your answer. Well, people tend to make a big deal about what they call legs, or as some people call them, tiers of wine. But really, all they indicate is alcohol percentage. So you take the wine glass and you swirl it around, and that's when the legs appear. If the legs are thin and they move very quickly, that means low alcohol content in the wine. And then obviously, thicker and slower, a higher percentage of alcohol. Thanks for your question, Neil. Really appreciate it.
I'm not giving you a sponge bath.
Thank you for listening. I'm Forrest Kelly. This episode of the Best 5 Minute Wine Podcast was produced by iHizzle. If you like the show, please tell your friends and pets and subscribe. Until next time, pour the wine and ponder your next adventure.